Rick, and this is your seat at the table, and we are looking at Rolling Thunder, a Battletech sourcebook. Um, One of my subscribers, and forgive me if I butcher this, I'm going to try, is Schwinn van der Plank, and he has a great Battletech related website where he reviews lore and history and does it very well. And I will endeavor to put a link below so you can go check it out if you haven't already. Anyway, he has through comments we've had a number of kind of conversations, and I do really appreciate those comments. Is when anytime I get an opportunity to run my mouth and to share this passion that we all have, and especially if it's something I can help out a fellow content creator with, I'm just honored to do it. I just want to comment that I am three subscribers away from 400. I have seen well over 100 subscribers in the past 6 to 8 months from my doing all these Battletech videos. So obviously the fan base is responding pretty good. I have a long way to go. I would dearly love to get over that 1,000 mark. So there's some abilities and perks that YouTube grants content providers if you have you've reached certain levels. And certain things we used to be able to do from the get-go, they revised it, which I think kind of sucks. And I've said this before, a couple other recent videos, that I really miss being able to do live remote videos because I could do it from my cell phone from work while I'm sitting in my truck waiting for customers, etc., etc. And I grant you that a lot of those videos that I have posted, to the internet over the years, are hit or miss, or maybe just running rambles of me. Is the way it is. Anyway, Rolling Thunder. And as you can see, this book has seen a little bit of use. I think a mouse got to this, or it just got, I don't know exactly what damaged it, but I paid $8 for this book. Imagine that. Obviously another 1990s. No, 1984. And Schwinn says this is become a bit rare, this book. And obviously a lot of the early Fasten material you can't get anymore. They only made 1 or 2 production runs of it, and that was the end of it. It's like, this one here is another one I have not seen or heard of available. So unless you find somebody who's collected these things in the past, who is in the process of selling out their collection, the odds of finding brand new ones are pretty slim, if none at all. And I don't know that Catalyst even has this information in a digital database where it could provide it as PDFs. So if somebody had the resources, the means, and the time, I would love to take I would love to take all my stuff that I know doesn't float around out there and make a PDF copies of it just to post it for free. I would not want to get in trouble with the creators, obviously, or the companies, but it's the idea. So anyway, the first Regular Hussars is a provincial unit of the Free Worlds League, the hotbed of political infighting and factionalism and civil unrest. Unlike a house unit, which is under direct control of the Captain General, provincial units' primary allegiance is to the leader of its region. Whether or not the Captain General can rely on them for League war effort varies from one Marik regime to the next, and even change from year to year. Today, the leader of any principality in the Free Worlds League can invoke the Home Defense Act of 2906, which gives him the right to declare up to 75% of his troops unavailable for League mustering. Although provincial units may be assigned to League armed forces, they often behave with autonomy reserved only for the most elite regiments. House troops definitely resent the special position enjoyed by the provincial units. The regular Hussars are currently consisting of 5 regiments. Unit strengths have fluctuated at times depending on the fortunes of war, but its fighting spirit remains high. 1st and 2nd regiments are the heavy assault units capable of full combat assaults and prolonged sieges. The 4th is a light quick strike force that is highly effective in recon and deep penetration raids. The all-purpose 5th and 9th regiments are medium mech units in operation with heavier brothers. They usually function as flanking or exploration forces, while the heavy units hold the enemy in place. Unit formation, early years, Starling era. First Succession War, Second Succession War, Third Succession War, unit traditions, first regular. So we get to the unit insignia, the nickname, motto, composition, and tactics, the Rolling Thunder Company, which is the premise of the book. Rolling Thunder Company, Eastern Strike, Star Strike Battalion, 1st Regular Hussars Regiment. The Rolling Thunder Company was formed in October 3015 from the remnants of 3 1st Regular Hussars companies that were destroyed in the Civil War between Jamos Marik and his brother Anton. Force Captain Vic the Ripper Davis assigned a company commander. Sadistic Glee Ripper Davis proceeded to carry out his orders to whip the unit into combat readiness in shortest possible time. For liberal doses of his verbal and physical abuse, the unit was pronounced combat ready 1 year later and was dubbed Ripper's Reavers. Reavers were soon given the opportunity to test their battle skills. Late in 3016, the 1st Regular Hussars participated in a raid on the Lyran world at Dixie. Hussars supported the left flank of the mercenary Wolf's Dragoons, a major component of the raiding force. The battle was progressing well, with Lyran defenders being forced to retreat when a Lyran assault company ambushed the Dragoons and threatened to split them. Heedless of losses, the Reavers barreled into the Lyran's company's flank and scattered it. The fierce battle that followed destroyed half the Reavers' mechs, but saved the day for the Marik raiding force, prevented Wolf Dragoons from being outflanked. Surprised at the valiant behavior of these house troops, Colonel Jamie Wolf remarked that the Reavers' approach to the battle was like rolling thunder. The nickname stuck and soon became the company's official designation. The company did not rest on its laurels, but accompanied Wolf's Dragoons as part of the heavy raiding force rampaging along the Lyran frontier for the next 2 years. Of course, this long and hard campaign, the company was strained to the limits. Many mechs not only barely functional. Finally, in mid-3019, the unit was posted back to the Principality for R&R and garrison duty on their world at Tiber. And so on and so forth, right? Lots of history, lots of story, compositions and tactics. Composition Rolling Thunder is slightly different from the standard battle mech company, though it is well within the bounds of its parent regiment. The unit is designed for firepower rather than speed, as its composition clearly shows. So attack lance, for example, fills the role of both heavy recon lance and swift flanking force capable of participating in the main battle. Generally speaking, the fire lance provides the unit's base fire, while the command lance closes the enemy and the attack lance probes for weaknesses. On a movement to contact the 2 light lances from the command and fire lances scout ahead, the attack lance forms the advanced guard. So we have a brief history of Tumso Conchara, Colonel of the 1st Regular Hussars, Force Captain Gerald Cameron Jones, and his battle master, command lance. So we got all of our various members of the and our wonderful 1980s facet artwork, of course. Each one has got some interesting stories to tell and brief bio information. Some top hombres. Rolling Thunder, is this their witching hour? So we got into the scenarios. We got Payback, Wolf Hunt, A Long Day, Big Mac Attack, Guerrilla Warfare, Divided Loyalties, Hard Choices, Luck of the Draw, Cross Your Bridges, Alas Poor Lurk. Thunder rolls in. 38, House Marik began one of its largest military operations ever in the history in an effort to take the heavily contested planet Lork, which is located on its border with the Lyran Commonwealth. The invasion force consisted of the 1st and 5th Regular Hussars, the 2nd Free World's Guards, 3 armored regiments, and a large contingent of aerospace fighters. Careful planning, elaborate deception measures, and the high security were employed to ensure surprise. The invasion force entered the Lork system on 13 March 3028. They quickly gained orbital space superiority, and so on and so on. All right, so we have a campaign. Scenario 1, all a day's work. Scenario 2, strangers in the night. Scenario 3, I want to go home. Streets of Fire, crowd control. Then we have battle force scenarios and defensive forward, battle force notations, the units, how the unit breaks down, how the entire regiment breaks down. Battle Force Scenario 1, Cross Your Bridges. Battle Force Big Action. One of the things I liked about Battle Force and their inclusion is it gives, when you get these source books and they focus on a specific company within a larger organization, they really don't do justice very well to the parent organization. And the Battle Force Scenario inclusions does allow us to tap into this, because then we get an actual breakdown of what the regular Hussars look like. So we look at, the regimental battle group, for example, includes 4 vehicles, a heavy mech, a medium mech. Then we got down here hover recovery, track company, dropship defense, regimental artillery, Eastern Star Strike Battalion. So we got battalion headquarters is assault elite. Rolling Humber Company is an assault that's veteran, a heavy lance that's regular, and heavy lance that's regular, and then the Wild Bunch, Harrison's Hellions, the 17th Armored Cavalry Battalion. The entire regiment is laid out here with the bare bones, so you can recreate these things on the company level, on the lance level, and utilize them in bigger campaigns instead of having to grasp for guesswork. So on and so forth. All right. Mech Warrior Scenario 2. So we got Mech Warrior. So at this point, FAST is actually fielding three different types of Battletech game system. You got the traditional Battletech tabletop war game. And then you have Battle Force, which is larger scale. Instead, we're talking companies and battalion scale on a bigger board. And then there's the Mech Warrior, which is a personal scale. This is where you role play and get into the actual story and line of what's going on outside the immediate, the open battle formats that you do on the table. And it also caters to multiple fan bases. So you have your traditional wargamer types, and I've always been a war gamer since I was a kid, and I've always enjoyed that element of gaming. And then role playing, of course, came along, and I was introduced to it very young, and became a fan of it as well. And then Battle Force is just an upticked version of tabletop. It is a tabletop wargaming, just on a grander scale. And I have plenty of non-Battletech game systems that utilize those things. So I mean, it's my personal fans' favorite kind of thing. Anyway, so that brings us to the end, and we got rolling number. All right, pretty decent. I guess somebody did try to put out a PDF of this, and part of it's missing. That's what Swin was saying. Mr. Vanderplank only had part of it. I'm going to try to help him out with that. That tells me that maybe there are some. If you can do some research. Also, keep an eye out at your local game store for a used bin, because you never know what somebody's going to sell and don't realize what they got in value. Another possibility, of course, is showing up on eBay and Amazon, though it's highly unlikely. Some of these are very hard to replace, and I'm grateful that I kept them and that they've weathered the time, considering FAST's material has a tendency to disintegrate pretty quick. It's kind of what it is. A typical Sunday for me. It's been a long weekend, and once again I'm going off on a personal tangent, which you really don't care, but I can't help myself. I really don't have a lot of people to talk to when it comes to my game stuff or just life in general. Anyway, the company truck went in Thursday for some general maintenance and its yearly inspection. And during that inspection, it was discovered it had a number of things that needed to be addressed, which included ordering parts for them. So I intended to work Friday night, and I intended to work tonight, which would have been all night. I would have been out all night Friday night, and I would have been out all night tonight, and when the truck that changed the plans, of course, so there went 18-20 hours of my this week and next week's check split relatively that I'm not going to get. Gave me a longer weekend. I spent a good chunk of yesterday mowing. We mow our own property, of course, and I mow the shop where I work at. In addition to that, we have a strip club next door, and the owner of that owns a pretty good chunk of the neighborhood over here, and he's been paying me to mow it too. So the wife and I spent about 6 hours yesterday mowing. About broke myself off doing it. I was not expecting to mow the whole thing because he had kind of told me he would, I'll let you know when I want you to mow it. And then he texted me the next morning, and I had put on a couple of beer, a few extra beers Friday night, and then left me kind of funky the next morning, Saturday morning. So anyway, is what it is. One of the reasons I missed having the earlier YouTube version where I could be out on one of those all night jobs and have a live ramble fest about some particular thing in Battletech. It's another reason that I enjoy Red's Battletech for podcast, and his ability to put out. He puts out a podcast every day except Sunday. This will be his day off. And he puts out other videos and stuff. So like I said, I'll put in a link to his channel, and if you haven't visited it, by all means do so. Same with Swin Vanderplanks. You definitely want to see his stuff. I'm not anywhere near the caliber of either one of these fine gentlemen, and probably never will be. I don't know. We all have our niche, and I try to fit my niche as well as I can. When I have an opportunity like today, I've done several videos. I've done this one, of course. I did one for Blood Right. I did one for the 3050 TRO. I also have several more already in the queue for my library, if you will. I like to try to have, I did one for this thing here a couple weeks ago, because working on the serious assumption that they'll get the parts they need to fix that truck, the things that they're fixing on my truck, and have it up and running by Tuesday at the latest. That means I will probably work a good chunk of next weekend, and if it rains and stuff and the grass grows, I might find myself stuck mowing again too, and it's a lot of mowing, and I won't have time to do videos next weekend. This is why I try to bank a few extra videos on hand to do that. And it's another reason why I can't spend 5 hours a day working on my channel material as much as I like to. I actually have a second channel, not that anybody cares. It's got like 5 subscribers, and now when it has absolutely nothing to do with gaming, it's more about crazy shit that's either happened in my life or things that like I did like 9 or 10 videos on and I can fish his name. I know his name right off the top of my head, Bob Lazar, and his stories, and etc. So you get an idea. It's kind of I don't want to call it a conspiracy channel, but just one of those my opinions on this subject kind of thing. Anyway, this is Rick. Until next time, you guys have a great weekend, and I hope everything goes great and funky and hunky-dory. Till next time.